Hi guys, so I'm just going to demonstrate the new really cool feature that Hive is releasing on the 1st of October, and this is all to do with customer surveys and net promoter scores. Now I'm not going to go into great detail about how the net promoter score methodology works, or NPS, you may have heard it referred to before, but I strongly advise that you just do a quick bit of research on the internet and you'll understand the psychology behind NPS, or net promoter score, and why it really is the most important metric in your business, and this is how Hive allows you to measure it. So just going to run through some of the features on the website and then actually take you to the product itself and actually show you how to use the survey function within Hive, and then take a quick look at the Power BI reports. So the way this feedback system works is it's completely integrated within Hive. This means that all the data is fed back to Hive and the data comes from Hive. So there's no need to export or import, it is built within the same system. The feedback requests are fully automated, so as soon as an invoice has been raised, you can set a time frame in which you wish the customer to receive a feedback request. This can be done both by SMS and email. You can view live customer insights from within documents. Now I'll show you this a bit further down this page. This to me is probably the coolest part about this feature, is the ability to actually see how that customer thinks about you whilst you're interacting with the customer. There's detailed Power BI reports as usual. You can analyze job sheet by job sheet feedback, so you can actually see on individual job sheet basis what your customers thought about your business. And of course net promoter score and custom surveys. So scrolling down the page, I'm going to show you some Power BI stuff in detail, but this is just very quickly understand your net promoter score from the Power BI dashboards. You can create your own surveys and analyze them within Power BI as well. This is the screen that you can use to drill down into the detail of the particular job sheets, again, which I'll show you in Power BI shortly. This is where you can view the insights. So you see here on the right hand side in the fact box, you can actually see live information whilst you're interacting with the customer. You can access the previous surveys as well. So if a customer's previously left a survey from within an estimate, a health check, or a job card, you can actually view the previous customer comments. And from your customer list, you can view whether the customer falls within the particular NPS groups. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but NPS comes in 3 categories. You're a promoter, you're a passive, or a detractor. Now you may want to market to these people differently, so the content that you send to particular customers may vary depending on which NPS category they fall into. So let's go ahead and actually have a look at this actually within Dynamics. So if I go to open a job sheet, you can see on the right hand side here in the fact box, I can see how this customer perceives my business. If I click on here, it actually takes me through to the previous surveys, and then from the previous surveys I can actually view the individual answers. Now this is obviously demo data, which is why there are so many surveys. Probably more realistic if we look at this one, for example, we can see it's a detractor, so this gauge will change depending on their last survey results. If we open this up, we can see there's one survey, and if we look at the answers, we can actually see the answers that the customer left as well. So if we take a quick look at the customer list, you can see here that we have the NPS group that the customer belongs to, and this is this data can be exported to Excel or imported into the likes of MailChimp or some other marketing tool that you can use. And like I said, you can tailor your content depending on how the customer feels about you as a company. So if we take a look at what the customer receives, so as I mentioned, it's fully automated. You set the rules up and the customer just receives the feedback request by text or email, or both, if you want to gather as much feedback as possible. This will determine, depending on which server you have set up, this will be determined what the customer receives. So you can see that we have the NPS question at the top here. The NPS question is essentially how likely is it that you would recommend this company to a friend or colleague. Now the reason this question is so important is because it really covers everything else you want to understand about the customer. And the theory is that if the customer is willing to put their neck on the line or risk their own reputation to recommend a product or service to a friend, then that is a very good measure of customer loyalty and customer satisfaction and retention in your own business. Now, what you can have in addition to the MPS question, you can add additional questions as well, and then it's just as simple as submitting. Now, another really cool feature is if the customer doesn't answer all of the questions, so let's say the customer only answers the NPS question and then leaves all of this, this will still be stored within the system. So partially completed surveys also contribute towards the data that you collect. If we take a quick look at Power BI now, so I'm just going to show you some visualizations. Now, the Power BI, as part of the Power BI app, the Garage Hive Power BI app is going to continuously evolve and improve over time. This is what we have so far. So this is your NPS score, which is essentially promoters. The percentage of promoters take away the percentage of detractors equals your NPS score. So you can see the gauge on the right hand side here. You have date filters here. And what's quite cool is you can actually look at your NPS score depending on what type of job it was. So if you want to understand if your MOT customers are more satisfied than your tyre customers, then you've got the ability to do that here. If we go down to the survey results page, this is where you can create your own surveys, and you basically select on the left hand side, you select the survey, and on the right hand side you select the type of question. So if we want to look at how do you rate the value for money of the service, then you can see this information within Garage Hive. We do intend within Power BI, sorry, we do intend on adding all sorts of filters to here, so you could see NPS score or any survey question by a particular service advisor, by a particular branch, by a particular make of vehicle if necessary. You can go really granular with the data and understand what it is that your customers are really satisfied with and what particular types of jobs or particular types of people in your business aren't satisfying your customers. The last report we offer at the minute is one called Mps Analysis, and this allows you to drill down to the individual job. So this is essentially a list of your job sheets and dates. With the customers, this data is very repetitive, but it's just from a demo company. And from here, what you have the ability to do is actually filter to, let's say, just detractors. If I wanted to see the jobs that have resulted in unhappy customers, then I can do from this screen. What you can also do from here is if I do select one of these jobs, you'll see at the bottom here I actually get the survey results as well. So if I want to look at promoter, I'll use this one actually. So you can see the customers can leave comments as well. So I can see that this customer left this particular comment, and likewise this one left a positive one. So it allows you to go right into the detail, all the way down to an individual job. So I hope you're as excited about this feature as I am. I genuinely believe that this is an industry-changing feature. The NPS methodology is something that I recommend that you all read up on and learn more about. We're really excited to hear feedback on this feature. It's going to be continually improving. Like I said, this feature is going to be released on the 1st of October to all of our users. It comes at a cost of £20 per location if you want to use this survey feature or the NPS feature. Any questions, guys? I look forward to hearing it. Thank you.